Hello and welcome back to the Herbal Entrepreneur Conference. I'm Yolanda Joy, and in this session, we are going to be talking about a topic that I think is very important for any herbalist who is really looking to boost their following and generate more sales. And that is how you can grow on Instagram Reels, really reaching new people. And for this session, I am so thrilled to introduce Denise Van Nooten, who is a gut health coach and course and content creator. Denise, I'm so glad you can join us today.
Hi, Yolanda. I'm super excited to be here. So thank you for having me. And hi out there if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay. Welcome.
It is a true pleasure to have you join us today. I think you have made some leaps and bounds in your Instagram growth over the last year or so, and especially when it comes to creating series and things that people really are just drawn into and are wanting to know more and more about the content that you create, which I'm sure you're going to get more into the details during this session, and everyone will have a lot to learn from you. But I know you have some slides prepared. How would you like to get started today?
Let's just jump right into it. So this course is for whether you are an experienced herbalist or whether you're new to being an herbalist. It is for anyone that is interested in building their following and also generating sales. So even if you're shy and you don't want to go live and you just want to record, this course is for you. So we're going to get right into it.
Let's do it.
So you guys, this training is called Real Growth. It's mastering Instagram Reels to boost your following and generate sales. So again, this training is whether you are brand new to Instagram or brand new to social media, or whether you're experienced in social media and you're looking for another outlet or another resource to be able to connect and grow with your audience, then this training is perfect for you. You can go live if you want to, if you're courageous enough, or if you got that personality and you're energetic and engaging, or if you're a little shy and you're a first timer, it's okay for you to record your series as well. So let's get started. All right. So as Yolanda mentioned, and that's part of being an entrepreneur. There are food pause. So it says here, Instructor Denise Woods. That's my married name, but my maiden name is Denise Van Nooten, and that's what I go by for my business. I'm a health coach. I'm a gut health specialist. I'm a course creator, and I'm an herbalist. And also, I am a business coach. And I am here to help you get more comfortable with creating an Instagram series. So let's get started. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to teach you how to discover utilizing Reels to create an Instagram series. So even if you are overwhelmed and if you're confused and you've never done it before and you don't know exactly where to start, this is exactly the course that is for you. All right, so let's get started and talk about this training. So the first thing that we're going to cover is the contents, right? So we're going to cover 5 easy things to make it easy for you. We're going to cover selecting your topic. Next, we're going to move into an introduction video. We're going to talk about selecting your hook because that's the main component of being successful in this training is selecting a fantastic hook. Last thing that we're going to do is create an irresistible offer because at the end of your series, you want to be able to create an offer that people are just going to be excited about grabbing from you and from your series. And the last thing that I'm going to offer you is an opportunity to get a checklist so that it can give you the steps that you need and the tools that you need for you to create your irresistible offer. So in the end, I'll be able to offer you a irresistible offer checklist and a resource guide, and it's an easy free download for you. So start somewhere. I remember when I first created this course or created this training, I was very scared. And I wouldn't say that I was the expert at this, but I eventually became the expert because I decided to start. And I think sometimes as entrepreneurs or as women who are focusing on driving business and creating business for themselves, you sometimes have that imposter syndrome and you feel like, okay, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I don't think that I'm the expert. I don't have any information to offer anyone who's going to listen to me. But guess what? People are out there listening. People are out there asking the questions, and you've got the knowledge, you've got the know how, you've got the tools. We just need to put it into play. We just need to put it into action. And so it doesn't matter where you start. It just matters that you start and just start somewhere. So forget about the perfectionism. Forget about having all of the answers. Forget about having all of the tools. You got to start. And once you start, you can make those tweaks along the lines. You can fix the things that need to be fixed along the line. So you just got to start somewhere. So the first thing we're going to talk about is selecting your topic. There's so many ways and so many opportunities for you to select your topic. You can utilize an old lead magnet. And so with utilizing an old lead magnet, what you can do is extrapolate the information from that lead magnet to be able to create a topic. So let's say that the lead magnet is 5 steps to creating better health. Right. And so in that lead magnet, you just have a topic, right? And you can take a specific topic out of that lead magnet. So if you have 5 steps to creating better health, you can take step number one, and step number one could actually be your topic, or step number two can actually be your topic. So there's so many ways for you to be able to identify where and how you can utilize a topic. For example, you can also use a previous email. So if you take a look at the email and take a look at the subject line itself can be a topic. You can further go down and take a look at your content. The content within that specific email can be your topic. So you can go back and take a look at all of your emails that you've been sending to your clients or sending to your customers and utilize that as your topic. The next thing that you can do is typically when you get someone onto your email list, you create a nurture sequence. And if you're not familiar with this, a nurture sequence is how you take them from point A to point B. And basically, what you're doing is establishing a know, like, trust factor, because at the end of that nurture sequence, the goal is for you to offer your services to your ideal client. And so when you think about that nurture sequence, each area has a specific topic, it has a specific desire or either a frustration or either a concern of your ideal client. You can take those frustrations, you can take those concerns, and you can take those complaints and you can turn them into a specific topic and utilize that topic as your series. The other way that you can identify what your topic could be is you can utilize a forum. And so a forum such as Reddit. Reddit has specific things that are out there that people are asking about. They're asking questions and they're really looking for an answer and looking for somebody to guide them to resolving what is their pain point, what is their frustration. And so you can get a topic from there. The whole point of creating a topic is not necessarily creating one from your mind and thinking exactly that you know what people are looking for. The whole point of it is to be able to utilize the information that's out there. And so when you're looking at a forum such as Reddit, the content is already out there, the ideas are already out there, the questions are already out there. So it's not coming from your mind, it's actually coming from your market. So you don't want to use a topic that's necessarily coming from your mind. You want to use the words and the content that's coming from your market because your market is out there and they're telling you, this is my frustration. This is my concern. This is my hope. This is my desire. And that's where you're going to be able to gravitate and get all of that information so that you can use those specific topics to make a better connection with your audience. All right. The last thing that you can do is also utilize social media. And that's one of the things that I did when I utilized social media. And so I'll share with you how I first started creating the series. How I first started creating the series was I said, you know what? I want to create a series. I want to create a 30-day series, but I don't know what I want to talk about. I don't know what subject to cover, but I know that I'm a gut health coach and I know a lot of people need help with gut health. So let me see what topic or what series I can create off of gut health. And the first thing that I did was I went to social media. And in going to social media, I just typed in gut health. And then I said, well, okay, what are some of the topics that are going across about gut health? And I started leaning a little bit more and looking at what people were asking. So again, the topic was not coming from my mind. The topic was really coming from my audience. It was coming, the questions and the pain points were coming from my audience. But I utilized TikTok and I also utilized Facebook. And so when you're utilizing TikTok and Facebook, not only can you get your topic from them, you can also get your hook from them. And we're going to talk about the hook a little bit later because that's the juicy part of this training. Everybody loves talking about the hook. The hook is what's going to get them. So it's one thing to have the topic, but the hook is what's going to stop the scroll. It's going to get them to say, wait a minute, what? What's she talking about? That sounds just like me. That sounds like something I need, or that sounds like something that I'm going through, or that sounds like something that I have been complaining about. And that's what you want to be able to do. You want to be able to stop the scroll and get them to be more engaged with your topic. So after you've selected your topic, and again, I've gave you a couple of resources that you can utilize for your topic. You can use TikTok, you can use Facebook, but you can also use your old lead magnet, you can use your email series, or you can utilize or nurture sequence. And that's where you're going to be able to find your specific topic or your hook, which we're going to go into for a second. Now, keep in mind, the whole point of this, and even though the topic is talking about creating an Instagram series, the reason why I specifically utilize Instagram because that's where my audience is. All right. So this training, you can actually apply it to other platforms as well. I chose to use Instagram because that's where my audience gravitates. I've had a Facebook group before. I've had actually several, if I'm being transparent, but I never got the engagement from the Facebook groups. No matter how hard I tried, no matter the value of my content, I just didn't have that engagement. And when I found my audience on Instagram, I said, this is the audience for me because I got engagement from them, I got questions from them, and there was a real good connection from my audience. So even though this training is all about creating a series for Instagram, I want you to know that if your audience is on TikTok, you can use and apply the same information to TikTok. If your audience is in Facebook, you can utilize the same information and apply it to Facebook. And instead of doing a series, you can also do a challenge as well. So it's not necessary to do a series if you don't want to do a series. You can turn this around and spin it away where you can say, okay, I want to do a challenge. Now, what I do want to recommend to you is that if you are starting off brand new and you've never done a series before, or you are new to social media, and or if you're just not comfortable, I don't recommend you starting off with a 30-day series. I recommend starting off slow and doing maybe a 5-day series or a 5-day challenge, or a 7-day series or a 7-day challenge. After you've done your first one, then I recommend going to possibly 14 days or possibly 30 days. Now, the whole point of having this series challenge is that you want to give them quick gems of information. And I'll be honest with you, nobody has time to watch a 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute video. You want to make sure that you grab them with the hook and you grab them with the information. That's the key to it. You don't want to give a dissertation. You don't want to sit down and record a 5 minute video or a 5 minute challenge and have people walking away. You want them to be able to get those quick nuggets of information that they can walk away and make immediate change and see immediate results, or instantaneously feel like you are the person that's going to help them get from point A to point B, or you are the person that understands their frustrations, their pains, and their desires, or you are the person that's going to be the one that's going to help solve their issues. That's the main point of it. After all, we are in a world of instantaneous gratification. We really are. And so, if you want to go down the route of doing something much longer, this is not necessarily the training that's going to get you there. But if you wanted to go down the route of giving people great information, making sure that they get transformation right away, then this is the training that's going to help get you there. All right. So, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to create 3 to 5 60-second videos. So once you've determined that you are going to do a 5-day course or a 7-day course, whatever amount of time that your course is going to be, you still want to create a 3 to 5 60-second videos. And this is what I call like your pre-launch. Is this your pre-launch, meaning like you're whetting their appetite? You're getting them excited about what's to come. What's this series all about? And so in that 3 to 5 seconds, I mean, those 3 to 5 videos that you're going to do for 60 seconds, you want to be able to give them the start date of your series or challenge. So for example, hey, it's Denise Woods of Denise Van Newton Healthy Living, and join me on April 1st for my training on, so you're giving them the date, right? And so you're going to ramp up that information. So 5 to 7 days before your actual series or challenge launch, you're going to create 3 to 5 60-second videos, right? Also, in sharing the date, you're also going to share the topic, right? So you're going to tell them exactly what that topic is. Hey, join me on April 1st for 30 days to a healthier gut. All right, so I just gave them the topic. Then you're also going to share the benefits of it, right? And so you're going to share with them, hey, I have just now, I'm going to have these 30 days to a healthier gut where we're going to be talking about, and you're going to give them the specific things that you're going to talk about. You're going to say, we're going to be talking about not trips. We're going to be talking about hacks. We're going to be talking about recipes. We're going to go live. I'm going to give you some really gem and nuggets of information. But you also want to let them know, hey, this series or this challenge is also only going to be 60 seconds or less each day. So guess what? It's not going to take up a lot of your time. But in the event that you end up talking a little bit longer, because that's what I did do, even though I promised to them, I promised to my audience that I'm only going to be 30 to 60 seconds for each video, some of my topics, they really warranted me to talk for over a minute. And so I did let them know in the introduction, hey, you guys, I know I promised you that my topics are only going to be about 60 seconds, but guess what? This is some really good information, and I couldn't shortchange it. I had to make this video just a little bit longer. So stay tuned with me. And this video is only going to be about 2 minutes, but I promise you it's going to be worth the information. So make sure you stay with me. So that's the content that you want to share with your audience so that they feel like they are connecting with you. And it's a tease of like, wow, this video is longer than 60 seconds, and she promised us only 60 seconds. So clearly, it must be some fantastic information. Let me make sure to stay tuned and watch and listen for what she's talking about. And so, you want to make sure that you have that transparency and that authenticity when you are talking to the audience. In addition to that, sharing what they're going to learn. And you don't have to make it very lengthy in what they're going to learn. You can just share with them that you're going to give them recipes, you're going to give them shortcuts, you're going to give them hacks, and you're going to give them nuggets of information that they can use to improve or use to address their concerns, their frustrations, or their desires. I do recommend practicing this before you actually do your live video and just really getting a flow for what seems natural but not necessarily rehearsed and what seems comfortable for you. But again, keeping it under 60 seconds. And so if you go and you check out any of my Instagram series, you'll see that I just shared, I'm going to give you tricks, I'm going to give you tips, I'm going to give you shortcuts, I'm going to do demos, and I'm going to do videos for you that are going to blow your mind away. And guess what? I'm going to do it in under 60 seconds. They were excited about that. So make sure that you try to find a way to do your videos in under 60 seconds because everyone's span of attention is not that lengthy. And so that's all the more reason why you want to make sure that you have a fantastic hook. All right. Here's another piece that is very, 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 very important. So if you take one thing away from this, you got to take this away. You're going to conclude your video in every single video with a CTA. What's a CTA? All right. A CTA is a call to action. All right. And so you don't have to say, hey, here's your call to action. You're just going to say, hey, here's your homework for today, or you're just going to tell them what is it that you want your audience to do. So it's not necessarily for you to call it a CTA. You can just say it's homework, or you can just actually tell them what is it that you want to do. So for example, when you conclude your video, you say, thanks for joining me. Be sure to come back tomorrow and share this information with a friend and make sure that you follow me. So I just gave them homework without them even knowing, right? So the homework was come back tomorrow for day 6 video. Make sure you share this information with a friend. And then I also said, be sure that you're following me, right? So I'm giving them some instructions. I'm telling them what is it that I want them to do. And I'm doing that every single day. And so if you're doing like a 5-day video, I would keep it simple and I would give that same homework or that same CTA every single day. When you're doing something much more lengthier, you're going to be able to change it up a little bit. You're going to be able to change up what your instructions are. So, for example, the way that you get people to come back, and you can even do this in your 5-day video. For example, after your 3rd day, on the 4th day, you can say something along the lines of, well, if today's your first day joining me, I recommend you go back to day two's video because day 2 is where I talk about, and you tell them what you talk about. And they're going to be curious as to what she talk about on day 2. What was that information that I missed? So it's that fear of missing out. And so instantaneously, you're going to garner more engagement. You're going to also garner more, what's the word, likes, and you're also going to garner more followers because they're going to be curious as to what did they miss on day 2 or day 3. What was that video all about? And so you're going to see that the engagement and the visibility of that particular video that you just posted several days ago, it's going to increase because people are automatically going to go back to that video because they want to know what is it that you talked about and they want to know what is it that they missed. So I would make sure that when you're doing that 5-day video, on your 4th day and also on your 5th day, I would mention that. And if you're doing a 14-day video, after your first 5 days of telling them to follow you and share this information with a friend, I would definitely sprinkle in 1 or 2 of those in your 14-day video. Now, with me doing a 30-day video, I did that at least maybe 5 times. And when I went back and I looked at the engagement and I looked at the increase of followers, I saw that it was greater during that time frame because, again, I automatically trained them to go back to look at day 2 or look at day 3 or look at day 4. And I made sure that whatever information that I was covering in that specific day, it correlated back to the video that they needed to go back to get some more information. So again, it's a teaser, but it's a way that you are strategically I won't say training your audience. Yeah, it's a way that you're strategically teaching. I won't say train. It's a way that you're strategically teaching your audience how to go back to that information so that they can get a better understanding of who you are, what you're teaching, and what your content is all about. So if you take anything away from this, you got to make sure that you have a CTA. And I would practice this again to make sure that you feel very comfortable and that it sounds very authentic. All right. So now let's talk about your content, right? And so I've done series where it's a 30-day series, but I've also done where it's a 5-day series. Now, when I did the 30-day series, it was very exhausting. So again, if you're doing this for the first time, I really recommend starting off slow and just doing a 5-day series because creating content for 30 days is exhausting if you're brand new to it. Now, I'm going to share a little trick with you. So again, in this training, you're going to get some fantastic nuggets, but I'm going to share some tricks with you if you're doing a 30-day training. I'm going to lean in so you can listen to this. I didn't create 30 days worth of content. Guess what I did? I repurposed some of my videos. Huh? Yes, I repurposed some of my videos. Now, who is going to go on my Instagram and go look for a video that I posted a year ago? If you got that time on your hand, then hey. So I definitely did not record all brand new content. Some of the content that I had was videos that I had posted maybe a year ago. And all I did was just repurpose that content. And so, again, if you are either new to Instagram or new to social media, then you may have to, some time that you'll have to build the content. But if you've been on social media for quite some time, I really recommend that you just go back and repurpose content that fits in with your series. You do not have to reinvent the wheel. Repurpose that same content. And when you're repurposing that content, I'm going to give you another gem. You don't have to use the entire reel. You can actually take a snippet of the information that you've used before and create content from that. I'm going to share more with you about that a little bit later because that is a gem of information. I'm going to tell you how that works. So, video prepping and posting. So, if you're going to do a 5-day series, you want to be able to prep those videos well in advance, right? And so, you can prep that several days in advance. But if you're doing something like a 30-day series, I recommend always being ahead at least 4 videos. So if you're going to post on Monday, then I would have at least 4 days worth of video beforehand, or at least 5 days worth of video beforehand. So that way you're not recording every single day. That's the main thing. You don't want to be recording every single day. So you want to plan this out, plan exactly what videos that you're going to record and how they relate to your content. Now, let's talk about the juicy part where you're going to get your hook. The hook is what keeps your audience coming back for more. The hook is what your audience digests. The hook is what stops the scroll. Because how many times have you been on Instagram and you're not necessarily looking for anything, but all of a sudden you're like, what was that? What did I just see? It's a hook. The hook is what grabs your attention. And so that's what you want to be able to grab the attention of your audience. You have to have a killer hook. All right. So I'm going to tell you some different ways that you can get that hook. The way that you can get the hook are a couple of different ways. So you can go to a resource that's called Answer the Public. You can go to Answer the Public, and Answer the Public has some fantastic information on there. It's basically things that people are asking. And so you're going to find a pool of topics on there. So not only can you get a hook from there, but you could also multi-purpose this, and it's basically interchangeable. You can get your hook from there, but you can also get a topic from there. So again, remember, your topic is not going to come from your mind. Your topic is going to come from your market, and the hook is also going to come from your market. So Answer the Public, if you just type in anything. So for example, I'm a gut health coach, right? And I can just type in gut health, but I can niche down a little bit further. And that's what I want you to do. I don't want you to just do the general statement because anyone can just do a general statement. You have to be very specific as to what you're talking about. So you can say something along the lines of gut health and fasting, gut health and dieting, gut health and hormones, gut health and sleeping. So you want to niche down to something more specific rather than doing a general topic of gut health, because gut health is so broad. So you want to make sure that you're niching down. So when you're looking at Answer the Public will give you all of that information, and you can niche down specifically based on the content and based on how many people have actually viewed that information. So you want to look at not necessarily if it's too saturated, but you want to look at topics that people are really concerned about and people are really interested in. Okay. The next resource that you can use is something called Uber Suggest. So Uber Suggest, you can also use that for Instagram, you can use it for Pinterest, and you can also use it for Facebook. So all of the information and the content that you're finding on there, you can use that as well. And Uber Suggest is going to give you specific information such as, let's say, for example, you said gut health and eating out, right? It's going to let you know how saturated that topic is. So, for example, if it says gut health and eating out and it only shows that 2,000 people research this information or 2,000 people are interested in that information, you may not want to use that topic. You may want to, or you may want to niche down a little bit further and say gut health and eating out at restaurants, or gut health and eating out while abroad, gut health and eating out in with fast food restaurants. So you want to niche down even further so that you get a better understanding of your target audience, because you really want to get to a specific audience and not be so broad or so general in what you're looking for. And the reason why it's so important to have a specific audience or tailor your message to what we like to call is your ideal client avatar or your ideal client is because the end result is you're not just looking for anybody to follow your series or engage with you. You're looking for your audience. You're looking for the audience that wants you to solve their concern, solve their frustration, and help them answer their desires, right? And so it's not that anybody wants to just have anyone on there to say, oh, I just want to have a following, so I have 10,000 followers. No, you want followers that are engaged with you. You want followers that are going to trust you. You want followers that like you. And so that's the main component, is building that know, like, trust factor. So that's why it's even more important for you to narrow your niche down to your target audience. You got to know who your target audience is so that that person or that those people can connect better with you. All right. When you are actually doing your videos, one of the things I find that's very simple to engage with your audience or connect with your audience is using some type of tool, right? And so I like to use something really simple as a post-it. All right. So I just use this post-it. It's kind of blurred because I have my background blurred, but it's okay. And all I did was on that post-it is I wrote down the topic that I was covering. I kept it really simple. You don't have to get fancy. Keep it really simple and really authentic. All right. So don't compare yourself to anybody else. Keep it simple and authentic. This was 99 cents. I got a pack of like maybe 100 and some change from the 99-cent store. And I just got a marker, and all I did was just write the topic on there. So every single day that I did my video, I would say, hey, welcome back to 30 Days to a Healthier Gut. And today we're talking about sugar. I kind of channeled my Oprah voice there. Sugar. And so I like to use my Oprah voice there. And you want to have fun. You don't want to come on and welcome to 30 Days to a Healthier Gut. This is Denise, and we're talking about sugar. It's got to be exciting. It's got to be fun. You have to enjoy yourself because the audience wants to connect with you. And I just said, today we're talking about sugar. And then I went into the topic. So let's talk about sugar. And I talked about how sugar impacts your digestive health. And I gave some specific gems and some specific nuggets and some directions. And, or maybe I gave a demonstration, right? And so you want to have that demonstration ready to go. Or I gave a tip or I gave a trick or what have you. And I did that in under 60 seconds. All right. Come back and join me for day 2, where we're going to talk about, and maybe I told them the topic, or come back and join me for day 2, but be sure to tell a friend. I want you to have a friend join this series as well, or I want you to make sure that you're following me. If you're not following me, I want you to make sure that you're following me. All right. So that was my CTA. I kept it really simple. So you don't have to use this little note. You can use a notebook. You can use whatever, but that's the key to keeping them interested, is having some type of tool or some type of apparatus that they can look at and say, well, okay, versus you just standing in front of the camera and you're just talking. It keeps them engaged, just looking at what's she going to have on that card today? What's she talking about today? And so that's one of the things that I utilize every single day. And you don't have to use that. You can do a post-it, or you can just do some type of visual aid. That's what you want to use, a visual aid. I said a tool, but some type of visual aid is um, very awesome because it really just helps to break the monotony of you standing in front of a camera and just talking. So a visual aid is really cool. All right. So you can do like a little book, a little post-it, or whatever you feel comfortable with. And then at the end, again, I want you to share that CTA. And as I mentioned, the CTA is all about your connecting with that audience, right? You're going to give them homework. All right. So homework is what you want to give them every single day. You're going to teach them to look at the previous video. You're going to teach them to tell a friend. You're going to teach them to follow you. So if you don't want to use follow me, if you don't want to say something along the lines of tell a friend, if you don't want to say go back to another video, you come up with your own thing of what you want them to do from a homework standpoint. But it's got to be immediate, and it's got to be easy, and it's got to be simple, and it's got to be quick. You don't want to give someone something to do that's going to take time out of their day. The whole purpose of doing this series and making sure that your videos are 60 seconds or less, it's instantaneous gratification of information. All right. So keep your homework simple, keep it short, and keep it consistent. All right. All right, so we covered video prep and posting, right? We also covered where to get your hook. We covered how to stop the scroll with the hook. And we're going to get to getting that hook in a second. We also covered talking about repurposing your content. It's not necessary for you to start new. You can look at old content and repurpose that content. We talked about utilizing a visual aid, and that visual aid could be a post-it, it could be a note card, it could be a little book, it could be some type of diagram. And then we talked about what to share daily. So you're going to share your gems, your nugget of information daily. You're going to do your intro every single day. Welcome back to day 5 of 30 Days to a Healthier Gut. And today we're talking about share. And I just like to have fun with it because every time I do it, I like to do my Oprah. It's just share. I just think about Oprah, so I get a kick out of doing that. But find your way to connect. And when the audience sees that you're having fun, trust me, they're going to have fun with you as well. All right. And then I gave you the homework CTA formula, but feel free to change it up. But if you're doing this for the first time, I do recommend that you follow the formula that I gave you of follow me, or be sure to find a friend to follow me, and also go back to whatever previous day so that you can get the information that I covered. That's the simple formula. All right. Let's get into this hook. Oh, I'm ahead of myself. A hook is in the other one. So let's go back. All right. I'm ahead of myself. There we go. All right. There we go. That's part of training. You mess up stuff. All right. So here we go. All right. So now let's talk about stopping the scroll with the hook. So the easy way that you can find your hook is going to TikTok, and then also going to, going to TikTok. That's the easiest way, right? For if you're starting new. So you can go to TikTok, and what you're going to do is you are going to type in. Here's the easy way for somebody that's starting brand new. I find that if you type in a number versus the topic, that you're going to be able to find information faster. So for example, if you're doing like a 7-day series or a 7-day challenge, you can do something like 7 days to, and all you do is just type in 7 days to, and then anything that's related to a topic or a hook that has 7 days in it, you're going to find that right there on TikTok. All right. So literally you can type in 7 days to make money. And when you type in 7 days to make money, what's going to pop up in TikTok are all the videos that are similar to 7 days to make money. And what you're going to look at is the hooks for those specific videos. And you're further going to look at how many people watch those videos. So if you see 7 days to make money and only 2,000 people looked at the video, but comparatively, you see something that says 7 days to make money instantaneously by whatever, and it's 50,000 people, then that's the hook that you want to use. So you want to use the hook that has the more engagement and the more followers for that specific video. And I find that the easy way to find the hook is by using numbers first rather than just saying make money. Right? Because I think the ones that have the numbers on it, they show that people are more prone to looking for something that has 5 days, 7 days, 3 days, 30 days, because it tells them that it is a component and it's a whole system, or it's a whole process that they can follow. And so that's an easy way, if especially if you're beginning, type in the number first: 7 days, 5 days, 3 days, but make sure that you're niching down. The majority of the hooks you're going to find, they're right there on the front page of that video. So instantaneously, you don't have to go searching for what the hook is. It's right there. Very few are going to have the hook where you have to click on the video to see exactly what the hook is. So that's the whole reason why you want to be able to find the hook instantaneously. And you can just write them down if they correlate to what your message is. And all you're doing is just repurposing that hook. And the reason why you're repurposing it is because it's been shown and known that this hook is what grabs people's attention. So again, if you're looking at a video and looking at a hook and it only garnered minimal amount of attention, you don't want to use it. You want to use a hook that shows 50,000 people, 30,000 people, 100,000 people, a million people viewed this video. Wow, this is a fantastic hook that I want to use. So that is very key for you to be able to find your hooks. Now, you can also find your hook, as I mentioned earlier, on Uber Suggests and Answer the Public. But the fun way to find it is through TikTok, because TikTok shows you the video. So Uber Suggests and Answer the Public is just text content. And there's a little bit of analytical information there, which we're not going to cover today. But it more so is text content. Whereas when you look at TikTok, TikTok is going to show you the video and it's going to show you the content of that video. So you can somewhat get a little bit of some ideas on how you want to change or spin off your information. So first, again, you're going to type in the number 7 days, 5 days, 3 days, or what have you. If you don't want to use the days, then you can go ahead and do your topic as well. But I just recommend that that's the easiest way to go about doing it. And then afterwards, type in your topic. All right. So let's make sure we recap that. 5 days, 7 days, 3 days, whatever days that you want, and then put your content in there, make money. But you also want to make sure that you're niching down. If you're really looking for great content and looking for your ideal audience, then you want to niche down and get more specific rather than being more high level and more general. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. So now we're going to go to creating that irresistible offer. And we're going to talk about what an irresistible offer is. All right. So the whole purpose of creating a series is, you don't want to create the series just to say, hey, I created a series. What's the point in creating videos if it's not going to serve a purpose? And the purpose is twofold. One, to generate people to join your email list. So if you're looking to generate an email list and get followers on your email list, then that's fantastic. But we want to take it a step further. We want to make sure that we have an offer. We want to make some money, right? And so that's the whole purpose of creating this series. And again, you don't have to call it a series in the title. It's indicative of what it is. If it's 5 days, 7 days, 14 or 30. But you want to be able to have an irresistible offer at the end of this series. What's an irresistible offer, you ask? It is a tool, a resource, or a product that is going to be the answer to your audience's questions, right? It's going to be an answer to their frustration. It's the answer to their concerns. And it is the answer / resolution to all of their desires. So, for example, when I created the 30 Days to a Healthier Gut, the offer that I had in the end was a toolkit, because in that series, I gave them information. I taught them the what, but I only taught them a little bit of the how. All right. So that's important. I taught them the what, meaning like we talk about sugar. You can't necessarily see this because it's kind of blurred. We talked about sugar and how sugar impacts your diet and impacts your gut health. And then we went into a little bit of the how. We didn't go deep into the how. We went a little bit and we touched the surface of the how. But when you're creating a product, or when you're creating a resource or a tool for the person, for your audience, which is that irresistible offer, you want to be able to create the how and really dig deeper into answering and addressing their pain points. So it's okay that when you are doing a series that you give them some of the how, but not all of the how. You're going to give them just a snippet of it. And the whole point of that offer is to be able to say that you have now created a solution for their problem. And so for me, in the end, what I did was I created a 30 Days to a Healthier Gut toolkit. So each day I provided them with some insight on specific things that they could do to improve their health. The end result was I created an offer that was a toolkit, and that toolkit gave them the steps that they needed for each one of those components in order for them to improve their health. And I charged $7 for it. Easy $7. Was it worth more than that? It sure was worth more than that. But the whole point was to, one, make sure that I was building my audience. And then two, make sure that I was offering them something from a low ticket product versus something that was high dollar. And once I built that audience, I built the know, like, trust factor, the next offer that I make or offer to them, it's going to be at a higher dollar. They've already worked with me. They've already spent time with me. They know that my content is authentic. They know that I'm authentic and they can trust me. So the next product or solution that I offer, they're more inclined to purchase it. But when you're starting new or you are just doing this for the first time, you don't necessarily want to do something that's high dollar or high ticket. High ticket means like it's several $100s. You definitely want to do something that's low dollar. And then gradually you can create several other offers and increase the price from there. All right. So let's talk about this irresistible offer. The irresistible offer, you want to create a bold promise, right? And the bold promise needs to be truthful. It can't be something that is not truthful. You don't want to say, at the end of this training, you are going to be healed. That's not the truth, right? You want to be able to say at the end of this training or in this toolkit, I'm going to offer you all of the steps that you need to take to be able to improve your gut health in 30 days. And so you want to make a bold promise. And in that bold promise, you want to offer a transformation statement. And that transformation statement needs to include, how are they going to change? What is the benefit of taking this offer? How is it going to make them different by taking this offer? So you always want to start with that bold promise, which is your transformation statement. How are you going to format your offer? All right. So, how are you going to format it? Is it something that they're going to click on a link and be able to purchase it? Are you going to do a sales page? Is it a checkout page? What's the format for your offer? Is it that they're going to sign up on Calendly and then be able to do a one on one coaching with you? Is it something that they're going to download? So, you have to be able to identify what type of offer, how you're going to format that offer. What's the duration of your offer, right? And so at the end, is that offer going to be something that is going to be available to everybody throughout the entire year? Or is it an offer that's going to be available for a limited time? Is it going to be available for 5 days? Or is it going to be available for 7 days? Sometimes when you keep it really short, you want to be able to have people have that fear of missing out because the offer is so fantastic. It's so exciting that they're like, oh my goodness, it's only available for 5 days. So they want to be able to jump on it. If you tend to leave an offer that's out there and available year round, then people don't necessarily feel like it's something that is interesting or worthwhile grabbing, because how good could it really be if you're offering it all year? So you want to know, your audience, and also pertaining to what your specific offer is. Do I want it to be available for 5 days after the training, or do I want it to be available for 10 days after the training? And you want to mention that in your recap as well. Okay. Now, the other thing that you want to do is create a fast action bonus. A fast action bonus is what helps people to be more inclined to purchase your offer, and so that they don't have the fear of missing out. And so, a fast action bonus is something that's going to be offered for a limited time. And it could be something along the lines of, the first 10 people that sign up for this offer get an additional or get a coaching call from me for 30 minutes, and it's valued at $200. That could be a fast action bonus because, again, it's the first 10 people. And when you do a fast action bonus, it's either going to be something along the lines of the first 10 people, meaning the quantity of people, or it could be something of a time frame. If you sign up for this time frame within the next 3 hours, so something like that. So it could be within a matter of hours, or it could be a matter of how many people. You don't want to say something along the lines of, the first 10 people are going to get an hour coaching from me, or the first 10 people are going to get what have you, or everybody's going to get something. The fast action bonus needs to be that. It's fast action. You're getting them to get that offer within a short period of time, but it's also got to be something that's like, oh, it's really juicy, or it's really good. So if you're going to offer a coaching session, be um, aware that you need to make yourself available for that coaching session and you need to set up how they're going to get that information. Is it that they sign up for you on Calendly, or is it that they do something different, right? And then also, if it's going to be something along the lines of the first 3 hours, I'm offering this. So sit down and really think and write this out as far as like, what is it that you think would be beneficial as a fast action bonus? What are some things that you think your audience will like? And that will be like, oh my goodness, I've got to get this. This is so good. I can't miss out on that. That is very key. I find that when people sign up for offers, it's not necessarily about the offer, it's about the bonus. People have a tendency to do these long, drawn out sales pages. And I find that when I'm looking to purchase something, I don't even look at the sales page. I go straight to the bonus. What is the bonus that they're offering me? And if the bonus is good, I'm like, okay, I'm getting it. That's how that's the type of customer that I am. You may not be that type of customer, but I know from my experience that people sign up for things based on the bonus. Okay. You also want to make sure that you name your offer. And when you think about naming your offer, a couple of things that you can utilize is ChatGPT. Oh, yeah, I know ChatGPT, but ChatGPT works well in the sense, again, you have to go a little bit deeper, right? And so you have to niche down. You can't just say, my, um, the name of your offer is going to be, let's think of some. Your name of your offer is going to be, it's all about the sugar. We're going back to sugar. I'm being facetious. The name of your offer needs to resonate with people. It needs to talk about the features and the benefits of what you are offering, right? And so, for example, I have the checklist that I'm offering you, right? And the checklist is about its 10 must haves for creating an irresistible offer. So I'm telling you that it's 10 things. I'm telling you that it's a must have. And I'm also telling you that it is a checklist for creating an irresistible offer. So I'm letting you know exactly what it is that you're getting. And so you want to keep it simple from that standpoint of like, what is the offer? And does the title reflect the actual content of the offer? So you can use Chat GPT, but if you're going to use Chat GPT, you want to get down a little bit deeper. You want to be able to explain who your ideal client is, what you're attempting to do from an offer standpoint. And you can use it for brainstorming and you can take information from here and there and piece it together as far as like your title. But I don't recommend that you just go to Chat GPT, type in this, and then come up with a title for your offer. You've got to do some work there, and it's got to be something, again, that's going to stop the scroll. And it also has to be very engaging. Now, pricing your offer. Again, if you are doing this for the first time, I recommend doing a low ticket offer, right? So something that's $7, right? And or something that's $9, maybe $17. I do recommend doing a low ticket offer. Low ticket offers are anything that's under $100, right? And so if you're going to do something that's a low ticket offer, it needs to be something really simple, really easy, but something again that's going to answer their desires, address their desires, their pains, their frustrations, and their concerns. And once you build that audience and establish that credibility, then you want to go ahead and then increase the price point of your offer. But if you're just starting out, I do recommend $7. Now, $7 is not necessarily going to make you a millionaire, but it is going to establish a level of trust with your audience. It's also going to help you identify whether you chose the right offer, depending on how many people bought that offer. And it helps put you in the right path of what's the next offer that you're going to make. All right. So that's part of my recommendations for why you want to necessarily do something that's a low ticket offer. Now, if you're already experienced and you've been doing this for a while, I would say start off with a $97 offer or 197 or something of that nature, or 297. It all depends on your audience. It all depends on the content, and it all depends on what value that particular offer is to your audience. And again, include the features and benefits. It always has to include what are the features and the benefits of it. As I mentioned in the title, we talked about 10 must haves for creating an irresistible offer. And I'm letting you know it's a must have, it's 10, it's a checklist, and it's the information that you need for creating a irresistible offer. So you got to be able to tell people what are the features and what are the benefits. So think about what are the features of your offer? What does your offer feature? And what are some of the benefits that people are going to get from selecting your offer? So hopefully that helps you to understand how to create an irresistible offer. Okay. Now, just want to share with you guys a little bit of some stats on some of the things that I did. So if you take a look at it, just some off of a couple of the posts that I did, the stats don't lie, right? So this is over 100,000 views, and these are the accounts that I reach. Now, this is not everything that's all encompassing of it. I just took a snippet of it just so you can see that the stats do not lie. All right. So as you're doing this information and you're putting these things together, take a look at the statistics, and it's letting you know whether you're going in the right direction or whether you need to revamp. And it's okay if it's not working right away. You can always pivot. You could always pivot because the can't even get the word out. The statistics will tell you, hey, your audience is engaging with you. Hey, this is working. Or telling you, hey, it's not working. And once you see that it's not working, even if it's a 5 day challenge, pivot for the next 3 days. If the first 2 days you don't see the attraction or see the engagement that you're looking for, it's okay to pivot for those 3 days and rework it. Or if your first one that you did for the first 5 days, it didn't work out at all, take a look at the statistics and say, what is it that I need to change? And then try again. It's all about putting yourself out there and starting somewhere. Nothing is perfect. So it's all about imperfect action, but you're taking action. All right. Imperfect action. All right. So here's the engagement. All right. So here's the little another gem slash bonus that I'm about to give you. So lean in that I'm going to share this secret and this gem that I use. All right. So take a look at this engagement. So, and this is just some of the engagement that I got. So it talks about binging. They say, oh, I didn't want the series to end. They love the series. I want you to make sure that when you see this engagement, take this information and I want you to screenshot it because you're going to be able to use this information in the future as testimonials for your content. Not only are you going to be able to use it as testimonials, when you see not only the engagement, when you have people that are commenting and asking you questions, listen closely. Here's my secret. When you have people that are asking you questions and commenting on things, here's what we're going to do. We are going to repurpose that content. And guess what we're going to do with that content? We are going to, guess what? Create another series. Remember, I told you that the information comes from the market and not your mind? So the comments are there to tell you what their frustrations are, what their desires are, and what their concerns are. So it's not about the engagement. So you're going to hear some fantastic things that you can use for testimonials, but you're also going to see some information that people are going to be telling you what they're frustrated about. They're going to ask you more questions, and you're going to take those questions and you can do several things. You can repurpose them and use them as reels. All right. So you're speaking to that specific audience because the audience told you exactly what they're looking for and what they need. Or you can take that same content and you can repurpose it and create a brand new series. Shh, that's my secret. My secret is repurposing content, but I do it in such a way that no one even realizes that I'm repurposing content. And you do it in such a strategic manner that the content that you're repurposing is engaging with your audience. Got one more secret for you. Now, when you're repurposing that content, you don't always have to repurpose the entire reel. You can take a snippet of that reel and repurpose it. And I'll give you an example of that. I had a reel that I talked about poop. My audience loves the fact that I talk about poop. For some reason, they gravitate when I talk about poop, right? And that's part of, the digestive system and part of gut health. We always talk about poop and talk about looking at your poop. But I had a video that I had created maybe a year and some change ago. And all I did was take a snippet of that video and I asked a question. From that question, I got almost 4 million views. Okay. I got almost 4 million views. I got over 4,000 comments and I got over 42,000 likes. What did I do with that information? I created an offer. I created an offer just off of that one video content. All right. And so there's so many ways for you to repurpose your information, repurpose your content, and not have to start from scratch or not have to try to figure out where am I going to get my content? How am I going to deliver this information? Because trust me, being on social media, it could be exhausting. It's a job in itself, right? And so the way that I make it easier for you is like, don't be afraid to repurpose content, but make sure when you're repurposing that content, it adds value. It's not, oh, I'm going to repost the same video. It's got to be a different spin on it, and it's got to be also adding value. So that's my little secret there of repurposing the content. You got to make sure that you look at those comments, share those comments. I mean, excuse me, not share those comments, keep those comments, screenshot them so that you can use them as testimonials, and or you can use them as content for another reel, or use them as content for an upcoming series. So I hope this information was very beneficial to you guys. And I want to tell you, start somewhere, have fun with it, and just enjoy the process. And as you're going through the process, you're going to learn what works. You're also going to learn what doesn't work and what changes that you need to make. So here's your irresistible checklist offer. And so if you want to grab this checklist, it's free. You just go to denisevannooten.com/offer checklist. And I spelled checklist wrong, so it's okay. I'll fix that, but it is checklist. And so we're going to go ahead and you'll be able to grab that checklist. So next thing is, I wanted to say that thank you, Miss Yolanda and Herbal Entrepreneur. It was very enlightening, and it was a pleasure that I got an opportunity to share this information with you guys. And again, if you want to get this checklist, denisevannooten.com/checklist. And here below is all of my contact information. And so thank you, Yolanda, and thank you guys, and good luck to you. Just have fun. Have fun. Enjoy the process.
Thank you so much for sharing. There were so many good tips throughout that whole presentation, and it was really nice the way you laid it out with those 5 steps and really just going through each process. And I think you shared a lot of your like hard-earned secrets with us too. Like they're like really the juicy parts, like the specific content pieces that people were drawn to. So the poop, how people like to talk about or like watch on their phone as well, the things that are a little bit like less common to talk about with people. It's kind of like those topics that people are drawn to, but like they are the trade secrets of your niche, and really getting into that as well. And then like the offers that you create around those topics that draw interest are it's a very clever way to go about it. And it's incredible that you got like 4 million views on your videos and like 42,000 likes. It's just a huge thing, and it's wonderful to see how you've used that momentum as well.
And it's all about utilizing the momentum. And I'll be honest with you, I'll share this with you guys. When I started out doing this series, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I did not know what I was doing, but I knew that I wanted to create a series. And I just went off of my experience and my training and understanding and things that I've done in the past as it relates to creating content and just building things. And as I started doing research and as I started applying some of these techniques, I looked and I saw what was working, and I quickly identified what wasn't working. That's why it's important to pivot. Don't be sad. Don't be discouraged when you see that it's not working. Just pivot and do something different. And then when you see that it's working, you have that formula, repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Just like starting somewhere and learning from your experiences. I think that really is the best way to go about entrepreneurship. Also, because there's not one specific pathway that is going to work for everyone. And it's about finding your pathway. So you need to start and then like adjust from there. But you need some point of reference before you can actually adjust.
You do, and you said it, you know what, you mentioned, you said you need your own pathway. So I'm a course creator and a content creator, and I've taken so many different courses that tell you step A, step B, step C, and D. And what I found out is that no one is right and no one is wrong. What you do is pull out from those trainings and find out what works for you, and pull this out and then put together your own little thing and make your own training. And that's how this came about. It really was authentic in that I thought about my learnings and the courses that I've taken in the past, but I also thought about what works for me, because really I haven't seen anybody say, okay, we're going to do a pre-launch and we're going to do an offer on Instagram. It's more so Facebook, and it's more so these other platforms. I knew that Facebook didn't work for me. I didn't get any engagement. I tried it not once, I tried it twice. So why am I going to try Facebook if I know that Facebook doesn't work for me? So I said, let me try Instagram, because I knew that was my audience. I was getting engagement from my audience, and I just applied some of the same trainings and some of the same tools, and I just made it work for me and for my audience. And so, as Yolanda mentioned, it's your pathway. It's about what works for you, but you got to make sure that the audience is coming along. So don't think about what's in your mind and what you think feels good or looks good. The audience is going to tell you whether it's working or not. And then don't be afraid to pivot. You're always going to be pivoting. You're always going to be improving. You're always going to be changing. And since I've created a series, I've done at least two or three. I have added more information to my creating the series. I've identified different things that I want to be able to utilize and different tactics that I want to be utilized. I've done more research and got a better understanding. So there's more things to creating the series that I've continued to learn over this period of time. So you're going to continue to just build and build and build on it. You're not going to stop where you are. You're going to continue to build on that foundation, and you're going to learn and you're going to cultivate. But as I mentioned earlier, just start somewhere.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. I think that's great advice. And you really have shared so many pieces of great advice throughout this whole presentation. And I've definitely got lots of moving cogs in my mind as to how I can make this work for me, and like doing series. I've never done a series on Instagram myself, for example. So like there's all these like new potential things out there and working out. And even like just think about the different lengths you do. Like it doesn't have to be 30 days. You could start with a 5-day series that is a lot more doable. Like there's so many different options. But yeah, from everything that you have shared today, what would be the most important things that people should keep top of mind going forward if they are wanting to create an Instagram series? So like 3 things perhaps.
So the first thing I would say is the hook. You got to have a hook, because no matter what you create, if people are not going to stop the scroll, what are you creating it for, right? So you have to have a hook that attracts people. And so utilize the information that I shared with you guys. I didn't do a screen share and get deep into it, but I can get deeper into how to utilize Answer the Public and how to utilize Uber Suggest, because there's specific ways that you have to be able to look for that information, and you have to be able to understand what it means. But you got to have that hook, and that is what gets people to stop and take a look. So I would say having the hook is number one. The next thing I would say is having the CTA/homework. You got to give them homework. You have to give them something to do. Otherwise, they're just watching the video. So you got to give them a reason to come back. You got to give them a reason to say, hey, tell a friend, and also follow me. Because in the end, if you don't get them to buy your offer, at least you've increased your engagement and you've increased your following, and then you can build on that. All right. So you can build on the following if you don't get them to buy your offer, but you have to be able to give them some specific homework. And if you follow that formula that I gave you, which is telling them to go back to a previous day, you're going to find the engagement is going to increase for that video. And if you also tell them to follow you and to tell a friend, they're going to share that information with a friend. So that is the second thing, is giving them homework. The last thing is repurpose, man. Repurpose. And I say that in the sense of not just repurposing content. I want you to sit down and take a look at your journey as a um, entrepreneur, as a course creator, or whatever role you're in right now, whatever your journey is, and take a look at all of the information that you already have and find a way to repurpose that. So it's not just about repurposing the content from Instagram, but if you got some old lead magnets or some old videos or old trainings that you've done, pull all of that stuff together and find a way to repurpose that content. All right. But just making sure that it's applicable to what the audience is asking you for. Be keen on their frustrations, be keen on their concerns, and be keen on their desires. So in other words, address their pain points. So that's the third thing I would say, is hook first, CTA second, and repurpose the content. Those 3 things will make it easier for you.
Yeah, I think that's great advice, and it really does summarize the whole presentation today really well. So thank you so much for that. Before we do wrap up, if people are wanting to find out more about how to do this, if they want to connect with you, follow you, where are the best places for them to do so?
So you can follow me at Denise Van Nooten Healthy Living. That's on Instagram. Or you can follow me or you can reach out to me at denisevannooten.com. So those are the 2 places, Denise Van Nooten Healthy Living, that's on Instagram, or you can reach out to me, denisevannooten.com. That is my website. And I look forward to helping you guys, reaching out. DM me if you want, and I'm here to answer any questions that you may have and help you figure out how to create your series.
Wonderful. Thank you so much again for coming on today. It has been a true pleasure connecting with you and learning about how you have been able to create this engagement through the series on Instagram. So thank you again for being here. I'm sure everyone has enjoyed it as much as I have. And yeah, thank you again.
All right. Thanks, Yolanda. I appreciate it.